When it comes to the problems in the U.S., it all can very simply go back to the people that we trusted to do the right thing and take care of us. Instead, they got rich, helped their friends get rich, and that was about all they did. So now we're going to go and discuss exactly where they screwed up so wrongly. Here we go. If you really have to question how money wins campaigns, just look at the presidential campaign for this upcoming year, 2008 and 2004. Look at the huge difference that obviously one winner had over its opposition. But this isn't just this year, this is many years past. And this year it's scheduled that a certain past big raiser of funds may hit $1 billion. Imagine how much good that could do in the economy. It doesn't take very long to see that somebody who's worth $250 million can very easily afford the presidency. It's not really rocket science. It's all about money. When the average CEO salary is $9 million a year and the average NBA star makes $6 million a year, $5 million a year, don't you think that the reason that these people are getting all this money may have something to do with the way the economy is? Possibly. When you bring it down to a more basic level, look at the difference between the politicians' salaries and the average citizen they represent. Shouldn't the political salaries be tied to their local averages, not some exponential value of what they are? Bet that money they're getting paid extra could go to good use in the economy. Now, if you ask me, when you look at the fact that the U.S. debt is so damn high and our revenue and expenses are almost tied evenly, they're not doing a whole lot of anything to fix what's going on. They're just letting it go right down the toilet. It always struck me as odd that one of the first things that's cut is education, when the biggest three are defense, pensions, and healthcare. I'm starting to see where there's a little bit of extra money going that we can stop. I bet you it's somewhere having to do with the wars that we're in all over the world. Maybe it's our doctors are getting paid way too damn much. Now, it's very easy to see that the very low average pay of an average citizen, teacher, and even a soldier can go in there at that same level is much less than your average politician and the generals in the military. Now, I wonder why our budgets are so high when everybody at the top of the pile is skimming off the top to feed themselves. Just taking, and giving nothing back. The three biggest categories where our budget is wasted is our military budget, healthcare, and a little thing called other spending, which happens to be the biggest of the categories for apparently randomized spending. It's one thing they always have been good at, is just spending money. Even money they don't have, they're still good at spending that. They're even better with borrowing money and then spending that too. Now, the one thing that I always have laughed at is this thing called the war on drugs. We wasted $1 trillion only for the number of users to grow. And the war on drugs isn't just cops versus bad guys. This is lawmakers versus its citizens over what they allow the citizens to do to their own body, in their own time, in their own home, with their own money. Sounds like the start of communism. I'm curious as to who decides how much to actually spend on a drug war. Because when you spend $15 billion against just two of the industries that one grosses $113 billion and the other $70 billion on average, how do you really expect to exterminate the problem when you're spending that little money? Something that could go to something useful like paying law enforcement budgets or keeping schools going. Annually, if we stopped fighting the war on drugs, legalized and taxed them, we would reverse the budget $42 billion. That's a lot of damn money that we could use. What's the argument against money? This is actually a comparison of the beginning of the war on drugs and what it is today. It dwarfs what was initially put in. So if we're spending that much extra money to fight something that we tried fighting in the 70s and are still doing this bad at, chances are sometime you gotta throw in the towel. That's a lot of money wasted. Didn't you hear that ending alcohol prohibition would have brought around a high crime rate too? That didn't happen. I never heard of a liquor store owner doing a drive-by in another liquor store. It's all about scare tactics. They can scare you out of doing it, it'll keep you in control. It's fighting the people who choose to do it. And that's the real dividing factor in America. Those who choose to do them and those who want to outlaw them. And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is on the face of all of the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for food. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. So now we got God's aspect on it. Even he approves of things that are naturally grown. Doesn't that mean that God created marijuana? We waste so much a year fighting the war on drugs. We allow 28 people a day to die in Mexico as a result of lawmakers being against the people in the country who choose to do these substances. Shouldn't the people have the right to govern their own body and decide what's right for them to intake and what's right for them to risk on their body? Don't they have the power to be able to control their own bodies? And it's funny because marijuana's never been a death, ever. Recorded history. 0. But yet, there's so many benefits to it. Like the fact of pain relief, anti-insomnia, people receiving chemo, it allows them to eat, and the pain relief, and it's even been shown in scientific studies to shrink cancerous cells in rats. So it's got a broad range of possibilities, but because of big farm and government lawmakers, the man doesn't want you to, so they say no. Fight back. Take back the reins of your life. Yes, do it now. Go, faster!